Welcome back, minions. It's time for some further maths with Nick. Today I've got a real treat. We are going to be doing differentiation integration, not with hyperbolic functions, not with reciprocated hyperbolic functions, but with inverse reciprocated hyperbolic functions. Let's see what we can do. So first things first, we are going to sketch y equals arsech of x. So yes, the inverse hyperbolic sec function. Well, first of all, let's sketch cosh. Okay, so let's sketch cosh. Now we know that cosh does this. Whee! Cosh x. If you ever want to draw an inverse function, start with the original function. If you want to draw a reciprocated function, start with the unreciprocated function. So we're going to build this up. So that is cosh right there. Okay, so what does that mean? So that means that, of course, sec is 1 over that. Well, we're going to start at 1. And then as cosh gets bigger, 1 over cosh gets smaller. So we actually end up with a cheeky looking bell curve. That's kind of nice. So this is now sec x. And therefore, if I want to inverse that, I need to invert it in the line y equals x. So the y's become the x's become the y's. So we actually end up with this vertical looking bell curve right there. And you know what? I might make a little sketch of that for myself up here. Never know when it might come in handy. Okay. Nice little bit of graph sketching there. Obviously, if you have a graphical calculator, it can help you out massively. But let's not always rely on technology, using the big squishy grey bowl of blancmange in our heads. Nice, gooey, salty fat. Right, let's differentiate it. That's fine. Like, we haven't seen this before, but we are very, very used to what we need to do to differentiate inverse functions. If I want y equals arsech x, what that means is that sec y is equal to x. And we're going to differentiate dx by dy. You may or may not know the property for this one. So what we might do is let's do it fully. Okay, so let's differentiate 1 over cosh. Well, that becomes minus 1 over cosh squared y times the derivative of cosh, which is sec y, and that becomes dx by dy. But that is minus, if I use one of those 1 over coshes to become, sorry, that's shine y, silly boy. How many of you have shouted that already? So 1 over cosh is sec, and then shine over cosh is tanh. We are used to this. Now, that's quite nice because, there we go, get my variables the correct way around. I know that sec y is x, so what I need is the relationship between tanh and sec. You might know it, you might not. If you're like me and you can never remember it, cosh squared x minus shine squared x. Actually, let's do it straight with y so that we don't confuse ourselves. We do the usual thing. So I get that 1 minus tanh squared y is sec squared y. So that does tell me that tanh squared y is 1 minus sec squared y. That's looking good for me. So let's put that back into here. I'll get minus sec y times square root of 1 minus sec squared y is dx by dy. So that's, of course, x. That's 1 minus x squared. Invert it, and we have our solution. dy dx is minus 1 over x square root 1 minus x squared. Doing my best with my terrible posture to get all the way down to there. I've very much spelt out every single step here. Ooh, bit of a smudge. All right, but it's the same procedure we are used to. The only added difficulty here is, of course, is differentiating sech, which is not a standard necessarily result. Don't even know if it's in the formula booklet, but if you're ever stuck, we know what sort of techniques to do. We can just do it from scratch and then go evaluate what that is. We know what sort of things we need to do. As always, maths all about pattern spotting. Now I'm going to take this down because we've got it here, and then we're going to talk about the meat and potatoes of this particular problem, which is part 3. Now what's interesting is part 2 is about differentiating arsech, and then part 3 is about integrating. So how do they relate? Well, let's see how many people are already shouting what to do here. Okay. We might be used to it, right? How do I integrate a function that I know how to differentiate? Integration by parts. I'm going to introduce a little 1. The 1 is what I'm going to differentiate, and the arsech is what I'm going to, sorry, the 1 is the one I'm going to, the 1 is what I'm going to integrate, the arsech is what I'm going to differentiate. So this comes out as x arsech of x between minus a half and 1 minus, now I need to be careful here, integrate the 1, differentiate the arsech. Now I pick up a minus from that minus there, which will turn this into a plus, x over square root 1 minus x squared dx. And that's kind of cool. This is very much the Lund situation, right, where you get some nice cancellation. And now that is, of course, arcshine. So I'm left with x arsech x plus r sine of x to the half and 1, which is absolutely mental. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we've been trying to integrate a hyperbolic function, which is all ease, right? And out of nowhere, with the metal chair, arcsine comes steaming in. Like, again, another reason why these hyperbolic functions are also known as hyperbolic trig functions. It's all one weird, big, dysfunctional family. Right. So let's start evaluating this. We'll put x is 1 in, but arsech of 1, this is why I left the graph up, is 0. Ooh, that's helpful. So we get 1 times 0 is nothing. Arcsine of 1 is pi over 2. So minus 1/2 arcsech of a half, and then arcsine of a half, which is pi over 6. Right, arcsech of a half. Let's see what we can do with that one. Let's use a bit of blue here. Right, I'm going to say u is arcsech of a half. That means that sech u is a half, but that tells me that cosh u is 2. That's just the reciprocated cosh function. So we need u is r cosh of 2. Well, that is just ln of 2 plus square root 2 squared minus 1, 3, which is making me very happy indeed. Making me very happy indeed. So pi over 2 minus pi over 6 is pi over 3 minus 1/2 ln of 2 plus root 3. Common denominator is 6. So that will be times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, and I'm left with 2 pi and there we go. There's a lot to unpack in this particular question. A lot to unpack. We've got this idea of sketching like a graph that is 3 times removed or 2 times removed, however you want to count it, from a graph that we know, so that's super cool. Applying our idea of differentiating inverse functions with something we're not entirely familiar with, using the hyperbolic identities, That's really cool. And then we've got our old trick of integration by parts by introducing a 1 in front of it, so turning integration into a differentiation. It's just, I love it. I absolutely love it. And then finally, how do I actually deal with an inverse sec? Well, actually, we go back to cosh. So much to unpack and think about in this question. Great one to practice your hyperbolics in general. If you don't already, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so that you know when the next bit of further maths is coming out, or GCSE maths, or A-level. We've got maths for everyone here at My Headspace Maths. So subscribe, hit the bell, like the video, helps us out, and leave us a little comment. Would you have gone about this any other way? How are you feeling about this? Right? Have you tried any other functions? What would you get with arccosh maybe, or arctanch? Have a little go, or arccot? However you pronounce the hyperbolic cotan. Enough rambling from me, Nick. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.